now. They travel because of gentrification, and they go into the suburban areas, and they travel, and they, again, have no decorum, no respect. I can talk to white trash, and they usually aren't going to try to fight me over it. You really can't talk to black people, and that's or ghetto black, and that's my.
Keegan, I'm kind of curious what you believe is American culture. And the drug comment, I've lived in a lot of different areas, and I'm very familiar with drug culture in a lot of different cultures. But drugs are rampant in the middle class, lower class, upper class, different types of drugs. And, I'm really confused on what is, in your view, American culture. Because American culture, in my opinion, can vary a lot. When I lived out west, going out in the desert and shooting guns, that was the culture out there. Off-roading. Now I've lived in Chicago. That has its own culture, mix of cultures, a lot of different cultures. Right now I'm in Green Bay. Green Bay itself has, its self-culture. So, this whole thing of American culture, and I'll also say this, I used to have a lot, not as much as you, but I did have some hate. I used to have some hate. And I used to be kind of closed-minded about some things. And whether if it was racism or not, I was definitely closed-minded. And I would honestly say, I'm speaking on my personal experience, I would try to do some inner work. I do feel that you probably have some hate, just like I used to. I do feel you have way more than I do. But I would try to do some self-work on yourself. Try to do the God's work. And, I'm a work in progress. I'm not perfect by all means. I'm not a saint. I'd probably never be. And the day I just say I'm a saint, you know what? That's the day I need to look back in that mirror. But I'm always trying to look in that mirror. So I would try to examine this more, where this is coming from internally.
Yeah, thank you. I want to thank personally David and Mojo. I don't want to be racist, but you seem as if you might have white voices, whatever that means, and contributing.
How dare you?
Go figure, right? I appreciate your authenticity, and Keegan, me and you, I think, have had some good conversations. And one person said it right. I got to be careful when I say you're a racist. It speaks to the terminology that has a literal definition of being able to subjugate or control or having power with the prejudice, right? Race. Hold on a second. I'm just saying the words racism, prejudice, and bias, what they literally mean are different things. So we use the words interchangeably, but they actually mean something separate, is the point I'm saying. My point is, I can't judge your heart or your history, but most of the shit you say that I've heard is pretty fucking racist for what it was worth, right? And I will stand on that. But the point is, I think the current administration, for what it was worth, has emboldened a lot of people to not have to be politically correct and speak their minds. So I think these are spaces and places where we're at a different stage of being able to discuss this stuff, and maybe there's something productive to it. But Keegan, what I would say to you, man, is what I said before. Like, this, for you to say that movies about my culture just because it makes you feel bad that people were terrible back in those days. I hate to say it. You don't have to own all of that. That's not who you were, but they were pretty terrible. They were rapists. They tortured people. Genocide was normal. They stole the country. They demonized savages as if they were the savages while they're taking their land and fucking their women. So what I'm saying is, I know we like to think of America in a particular way, and that's okay. The ideals of America, the thing that America said it wants to be, is beautiful. It's the most beautiful country in the world. But we have to do the same thing with America that people on the stage are demanding that black people do. That self-deprecation where black people need to own itself and hold itself responsible. Let's make a parallel and have America do the same thing and just tell the truth about its history. So, Keegan, you don't look at these black things as black things, but rather American things, for what it was worth. I'll land.
Thank you, CO. So, hold on a second, bro. I'm going to come to you. But I got to say hello to my friend King 334 Bob. He's been down in the VIP section for a while, and I just want to say good morning. Good morning, King.
Good morning, brother. Good morning.
I thought we agreed we're going to call him Queen from now on.
No, we're going to call you Queen.
All right, let's keep the good conversation, good spirits going, guys, please. Let's not get derailed. King, did you want to chime in before I go to Shepard?
Yeah, I like, me personally, I like Keegan.